there, this is Tammy. Welcome back to my channel. This is Woodland Stitching Studio, formerly known as Tammy's Crafty Life. This is a channel primarily about cross stitch, but I do some other kinds of crafts. And last video I showed you some of those and then I missed a few. So at the end of this video I have a couple of others to share with you. Let's see. This will be a shorter video. I haven't worked on a lot of whips, but I did go to a class that was a lot of fun, so I'm going to share that with you. And I have a little bit of haul because the class was at Acorns and Threads, so I couldn't leave without getting some things. So I'll get right into it. Thank you for watching. I hope you like what you'll see and that you'll return. And let me get right into my cross stitch. The class that I took at Acorns and Threads was Jeanette Douglas. It was a 2-day class, and it's the second time I've taken her class, and she is so much fun. She's a very sweet lady. Her projects are amazing, and it was just a lot of fun. So the class this time was called Count Be Correct, and this was the sampler that she taught us. And this is beautiful. However, I'm not a fan of red at all, and orangey red especially. So I did change some of the colors. And then this also had 3 smalls. So I'll show you the smalls first because I have them all finished. The first one she called a needle page. She said she's made lots of needle books and she wanted to do something different, so she called this one a needle page. This is the front. I changed the reds to purple. It's done all in silk, mostly Gloriana, and I think a thread gatherer maybe. So this is the needle page, and it's just, in the back side has felt on it, so it's not an actual book. And I had thought this was on here straight, and now it's crooked, but that's okay. It's just for me. Actually, it looks straight this way, just something about the video. I put cording on mine. And then I added these fun little charms. There's a scissors, a needle charm, and then a cute little owl. Because I just thought that was fun. So that's my needle page. And then she had provided a finishing kit that has the mat board. It had the felt and the buttons and fabric, but the fabric she provided was brown. So I got fabric to match my floss. I had pulled it from my stash. One of the others is a cute little pin cushion. This was part of the finishing kit. And these pinwheels are fun. So Jeanette Douglas specializes in specialty stitches. So there's pinwheel and this satin stitch, and this is a satin stitch. And then I have the same fabric on the back. And I put the pillow's tiny, so it was hard to make it heavy the way I wanted. I did put some walnut shells in it, but something this small is hard to stuff anyway. So I put as much as I could, and then I had to use fiberfill because the walnut shells were going everywhere. And the last small is this scissor fob. It's a 2-sided scissor fob. And this may be Jeanette's design. I don't know the way this works. This is a slider. There was one of these in the class I took from her 2 years ago also. So you make the cording and then you stitch these 2 pieces. They're the same except the purple is different. This one's darker than this one. And then you put it on scissors. So I put it on these fun scissors that I had in my stash. So that's my scissor fob. So those were the 3 smalls. And then to hold our smalls, Beth Twist was at the class, Heartstring Samplery. And so to hold our smalls, we got this very cool box from Matt Twist. It says Count Be Correct. We also got, I don't know what I did with mine. We also got a tiny little wooden thing that had this same design on it. And we got colored pencils, and we could color it if we wanted. I didn't want to color mine. This wood is from their farm. They have a tree farm. Well, I guess it's not a tree farm. They have 20 acres close to the mountains. And all the wood Matt uses comes from their property. He takes wood that needs to be removed, trees that have fallen or are sick or something, and makes amazing things with them. He has his own sawmill. This is some kind of alder, And this just was so cool. Look at this etching he did around here. I don't want to color mine. I like it the way it is. And it nicely holds my 3 smalls. So that was that part. And then I started the sampler. I worked on it a couple of times this week. I started all 3 of those. No. I started the needle page at the class on Saturday, and then on Sunday I started the sampler. I forgot my thing. Oh well, hopefully you can't see through this. So this is the beginning of my sampler. The fabric is, where's my, the fabric is 36 count Old Stationery by Seraphim Fabrics, and there were 2 different excuse me, there were 2 different dye lots, and I liked the lighter one. The other one was much more gray. So this is the width. Well, it'll go up this high on the corner, but that's all there is. And I thought that was a lot of fun. So that's the beginning of my sampler. I would like to finish this month. I don't know if I'll make it. There's a lot of color changes. So, like there's just a, that's only 10 stitches or something of that color, and there's 3 different greens. And so and because it's linen, I have to do them kind of in order to be sure I count correctly. The next thing I think I'm going to do is start the first inner border. This is a cross stitch border, and that will help me to be sure I'm in the right place. Hopefully. And this is how she gives you the floss. So there's this red, there was a red here, and this pinkish red here. Excuse me. I didn't use any of those. I gave this red away, and so I stuck. This is a Dinky Dyes actually. It's called Violet. Is it Violet? Maybe. Anyway, so I changed to these colors, which is a lot of fun. One of these is called Purple Fred is the name of this color, and she said why it was named that way, and I can't not remember what she said. And then this is Bellflower, and this one is Sierra Haze. This is the variegated, and this is what will be the inner border that I was talking about. So that is all of my fun from the Jeanette Douglas class. I also did some shopping, which I'll show you in a little while. I have another new start, so that was I have 3 starts, finishes, and fully finishes, and 1 new start. And then I have been wanting to do some more African animals for my wall. My next new start is this kit. I was wanting something new to work on. I have so many whips, but I was wanting something new to work on, and I wanted something I could possibly finish this month to add to my African animals. And so I have this kit. I found this in my stash. This either came from the free table at Pinwist last year or somebody gave it to me. I don't remember. It's a 5x7 Jan Lin kit that is just called Tiger. And it's got a lot of detail for the size that it is on 14 count Aida. So I have a little start. It's very interesting. I hadn't worked on it for a week, and when I picked it up and ended my floss, I didn't look at the key. I thought just from looking at it I was stitching with black. So I did a whole thread of black in here, and then realized this isn't black. This is $37.99, which is dark, dark, dark gray. So I had to take out everything I just put in, and the reason I messed up is the way they did their floss, and what I did with the bag. The way they did their floss, it wasn't on an actual floss card. Well, it was on this little card where there was 12 holes and 2 colors of thread in each hole. The whole thing was bizarre, and I have since put it on a different kind of a card, but so that was why I messed this up. So when I go back to this, I'm not sure what I'm going to do next. If I'm going to go put back what I stitched and ripped out, or if I'm going to go somewhere else. Not sure. But I'm thinking I want to try to finish this month. We'll see how that goes. So this is Tiger by Janlin Corporation. And then I have just 2 whips I've been working on. One of them is this kitty. No, this kitty. It says, "You keep me in stitches." I love it. I'm almost done stitching. I'm up here doing the ears and the top of the head, and then I have to do all the back stitching and the words. So this is where I am. I like this a lot. It's a lot of fun. I love Stony Creek. Look at all the definition in this basket without the back stitching. It's just so well designed that you're going to need it in the kitten to see the face, and all of it really. It's going to look so much different when it's back stitched. And I'm excited, hoping to finish this one this month also. We'll see how that goes. I need some more finishes so that I end up the month down instead of up. And right now, the way I'm going to be ending the month up, which is not what I want to do. And my last whip, what is this? Oh, that's the bag for the tiger. My last whip that I've worked on since my last video is Butterfly Capri by Mill Hill. I love Mill Hill kits. I love bright colors. I love butterflies. And this is Laurel Birch. So I love it all. And I'll do this. I might be able to finish this month also. We'll see. This is where I'm at. This is going to go, this is the edge on this side, and it's going to be the same way over here. So I have quite a bit left because it's all, it's full coverage. And then there is a lot of back stitch. All the black back stitch, and then beads. The beads go fast, and I really enjoy the beading part. And then I need to get a black frame to put this in. And this is just so pretty. Just looking at it the way it is now, I love it because of the pretty bright colors. So that is all of my whips. That's all of my stitching. The Jeanette Douglas Class. Yeah, so now I'll share a little bit of haul with you. As I said, I couldn't go to Acorns and Threads without doing some shopping. Well, I could. I have before. But I went over there. I always look, Corey, where's your Crafty Corey Stitches? She makes project bags and other thread beds and like a stitchy mat for Acorns and Threads. And I went over there looking for stuff that was purple. I didn't find any purple. Somebody had gotten there before me. But I did find this. This is giraffes. Isn't that cute? I have this fabric with a purple background already. And I started making something with it and decided I didn't like it. So I'm not sure what I'm going to actually make with it. But this is the project bag I picked up. I also picked up, and I don't know where it went. There was a thread bed that matches. I kind of have stuff everywhere. So I'm not sure what I did with it. So that was a project bag from Corey. The other thing that another thing I picked up that is Jeanette Douglas is years ago, I guess this was a class that she taught, my stitching album, and now she's published it as a book that you could purchase, and I purchased this book. This is what the cover of the album looks like, the stitched album, and then I'll just show you one of the pages. It's got 8 pages that you stitch. Let me find one. That's the cover. Okay, this is one of the pages that you stitch. So it's a sampler, a stitch sampler. And then she bound hers. She put these grommets on it and bound it. I'm not sure how I'm going to bind mine. I'm trying to decide on the fabric. When she's taught this as a class, there were thread packs for each page, and she's not doing the thread packs for this anymore. So, but there still were a few left, so I got a few of those, and then the rest, it's all done in silk. The rest I'll just have to source another way. And what was I going to say? Oh, a lot of it is NPI. I mean, there's a lot of Gloriana that is beautiful and variegated, but there's a lot of NPI that is all solid colors. And I don't know if I'll use NPI or if I'll use DMC, because I really like to stitch from my stash. So these are the thread packs they did have. This one is front and back cover, and then you just, it's got threads in it, and there's a charm. This is the 8th page, just threads. This is the 5th page, and it's threads and beads. And this is the 7th page, and it's just thread. And then I picked up what else did I get? Oh, I picked up some other threads that are for the book, where I got, now I have to get full skein. So that's what these are. They didn't have them all. And while I was there, I always go look at all the threads, and I'm drawn to purple, as you know. So these two are silken colors. They're both, what did they say? One's called Elephant and Castle, and the other one is Enzian Flower. This is the Elk and Castle. This is the Enzian Flower. And then this is Gloriana, and it's African Violet, which is so pretty. And, oh, there was African Violet Light and Dark. So those are both African Violet. And then there was Sierra Haze Light and Dark. The Sierra Haze, the dark one, is the one that I picked up to replace the variegated on my sampler. Let's see, what else did I get from there? There's a stitch company I've never heard of before called December Stitches, and I fell in love with this pattern. There's no otter one like you. It's called Otterly Perfect. I think otters are adorable, so I thought this was fun. And I wasn't going to buy this, but I ended up doing it. It's Baby Animals by the Blue Flower. I won't probably stitch the whole thing, but I might stitch just the top, because those are all African animals. This is really big when it's 257 wide by 321 high. That's bigger than I want to stitch, so, but half of it would be cool. We'll see. And this is Erica Michaels. It's called Voice of the Garden. I was drawn to the colors, of course, purples, because it's violets, I think. Maybe. And then this one, I'm not sure why it caught my attention, except it's got a cute little cat. This is by Plum Street Samplers, and it's Tomato Hill, and I watched theirs very closely because theirs can be deceivingly large. This one is only 57 by 68. So, this just got a little kitty. I just thought this was fun. And the last things I picked up there was these two pieces of fabric. These are 14 count Aida, which I stitch on all kinds of fabric. Every now and then I go back to Aida just because it's easy. And I think Vintage Blue Whisper is my favorite, and it's so hard to see the modeling on here. You see it like that? No. But this is my favorite for a light color. And I didn't have any Aida this color. This one is just Lavender Aida. Close to the color of my shirt. Yeah, it is. So, yeah, like I said, every now and then I like to go back to Aida. Another thing I picked up, which I'm not sure why, I have no idea why. This is called a linen test, and I think it's for counting your linen. It looks like this one, it's open. I haven't tried it yet. We'll see how that goes. So that's all I got when I was there, and then my issue of Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine arrived. This one has a lot of fun stuff in it. Isn't that pretty? That's spring. That's cross stitch. The very first thing I flagged. I still have not taught myself punch needle, but I want to. I have a bunch of projects I want to do. But the very first thing I flagged was this. Isn't that beautiful? That is by, it's called Pansy Pocket, and it's on a thing that's got flowers in it. By Dawn Shuck of So Cherished. I've never heard of So Cherished. This magazine has a lot of fun things in it. Oh, look at this one. This kitty, isn't that fun? By Happy Cat Stitchery. And this little pillow by Crochet to Go-Go. So I thought this was fun. It's got this cute little box. I don't like the colors, but I like the idea. It shows you how to make that box. So that was that magazine. And the last thing I picked up was this. I used to have a little craft hammer. It was just looked like a regular hammer. It was only this tall. I used it when I did eyelets. I still have the eyelets, but for some reason the hammer is gone. I'm not sure what happened to it. So I was looking on Amazon for a hammer, and I found this fun little baby. So this is it. But it's not just a hammer. It is pliers. Let's see. It's pliers and a screwdriver, wire cutters, saw and nail file, a knife. It's got all of that in this tiny little thing. So I've used it this morning. I was hanging pictures on the wall. I have said in the past I want this to be an African animal wall, but I only have that one that's completed, and I don't want the bare wall forever. So these are all other things that I've finished in the last couple of years, and they are on the wall for now. So I was using this little guy. Isn't this cute? Of course, it's little and cute. I got this from Amazon. First I went looking for a purple hammer, but then this one had all this fun stuff. So, and it was only came in black. So this is my new little tool. So that's all of my purchases, and it came with this little thing, so I can put the little instructions that tell me all the things that it does. So that's all my purchases. I'm going to show you just a few things that few other things I've made that are not cross stitch that I forgot about last time. This is a tea light holder. This is made with designer paper, which is scrapbook paper, stamps, and dies. And I still have some of this paper. I still have the stamp set that says wishing you sunshine and happiness. I designed this for a class, I think. So you can stick your tea light back there. I don't have any tea lights right now. This is a die also, and I use gold foil cardstock. And I also made this cute little box, because there's a die set that's this shape. There used to be, I don't know if there still is, from Stampin' Up. Nesting dies, which means they came in multiple sizes. So I made this cute little box, also for a class. And then this comes off. That's my little box. I still have like 5 of these. I have only one of these that's done, but I have parts, I think, for 5 or 6 of them. I don't know what I'm going to do with them. These kinds of things don't have any weight, but they're hard to and expensive to mail because you have to put them in a box, and you can't mail them flat. So I can't make myself throw them away. I didn't show. I don't know if you can see. There's a hole in the bottom for the tea light. I can't make myself throw any of them away. I don't really have anybody to give them to, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do with them. And then the other things that I've made are peyote fobs, and most of them are from Fern Ridge Collections, and you buy a kit. So this is one. I have several, and for some reason I can only find these two. I don't know where the rest of them went. This one's my favorite. It's peacock. Isn't that pretty? And I have a bag full of them to do. I just haven't done this for a while. For a while I was doing one every month, which is why it's kind of weird that I can only find these two. They should have all been in the same place. I have a scissor frog. And then one other thing I purchased that I was going to talk about and I forgot is, I don't know if you've heard of a bodkin, but a bodkin is something that's made for turning things or pulling ribbon or elastic through something, like if you do, if you want to do a drawstring, and they come in different sizes and shapes. Well, when I was working on this guy, I was trying to figure out how to get the ends of the cording tucked in on each side. So there's 4 ends I needed to tuck in where the cording is, so that it won't come out as this slides back and forth. So what I did was, I was at Hobby Lobby and I saw this bodkin. This is only like 6 inches long. One end has a little ball, the other end, you can see it's got a little hole, and it's a flat end. So I slid this through. I didn't want to use a needle because I didn't want to catch my cording. Slid this through and got caught thread that was tied around the end of this cording, pulled it back the other way, and then tied it off. I did this with all 4 ends. This little tool, I couldn't have done it without this little tool. And I just happened to pick this up when I was looking at the notions at Hobby Lobby. So that was fun. So that's my little helpful hint for the day. If you want to do something like this, use a bodkin. And I could have used a bigger one too. I had just bought this one. So I think that's all I have. As I said, this is going to be a short video. My plans are to see what I can finish this month, and I had already shown, you know, I'm doing one Christmas ornament every month. I had already shown that in my last video, because that's the first stitching I do when the month starts. I haven't decided yet what ornament I'm going to do next month. I need to decide that in case it's something that I might have to kit. I think that's all for now. So thank you so much for watching, and happy stitching.